We have multiple quest lines just in the first starting hours of Black Myth Wukong that provide some of the best unlocks and even mythical gear, but they are also completely missable. And that's why today I'm going to show you how to get this really awesome spear weapon, which comes with a super unique moveset, a full legendary armor, a player hub, and many more. Also, I'm going to try to avoid any major spoilers here, but keep in mind that we're still going over some secret stuff, so proceed with caution. Starting right up, you can actually get one of the best armor sets and the legendary fireproof mantle as soon as chapter 1 by actually unlocking one of the secret temple areas. So to get this, you're going to need to activate 3 massive bells within the first chapter. So the first one is going to be at the Forest of Wolves outside of the forest waypoint. From here, just follow my steps. You're going to see a group of enemies, so just ignore it and keep it to the left side. Simply follow this small trail down up until you eventually reach a bridge area with some enemies and go ahead and dispatch them. From here, just keep it straight into this larger section where you also get to fight the same enemy that unlocks the Red Tides transformation. Quick tip over here, this is an absolutely banger transformation, very strong early on, so I highly suggest you getting it right away. But if you pay attention to the back of the room, you're going to see the first bell, which you can go ahead and activate right away. The second bell is going to be located in the Snake Trails Bamboo Grove. So from this point on, just follow the same route that I am. You're going to need to pretty much circle down this whole snake-infested area up until you reach the bigger platform down below in the marshes. So simply go ahead into this large area, and once you reach it, you're going to want to head over to the right side until you see a small gap opening, which will lead to a boss fight. So once you defeat that boss, pay attention to the stairs leading up, as that's going to bring you to another altar with another big bell that you can go ahead and smack. The third and final one is going to be just a bit further into the Bamboo Grove, all the way until you reach the Marsh of the White Mist. This is rather easy, so just simply follow the steps down until you reach the swamp. There will be a boss here to fight, but if you pay attention to the left side, there's going to be a cave entrance to the other side. Now here you will find a bunch of enemies that you need to defeat, as well as this hanging corpse, which currently is not interactable, so keep a mental note of it. Because behind it, you're also going to find the third and final bell, which once activated, this is going to teleport you to that secret ancient temple area. Now there's going to be a boss fight over here that you have to defeat, as well as a number of treasure chests right before it, so absolutely make sure you collect them for some extra resources. But once you defeat that, you're going to come up to the other side, and this is then going to let you interact with that hanging corpse, which is going to give you the fireproof mantle. Like I said, this is going to grant you complete burn immunity as well as a gradual increase to focus. So this is going to be highly effective against one of the bosses that will follow after this. But this is also going to let you cast your summons a lot more often, so that's really useful. Besides that, you also get the Bronze Monkey armor, so at 2 set bonus, this is going to let you deal more damage to enemies upon which you cracked the immobilization, and then at the 4 set bonus, upon cracking the immobilization on the enemy, you're going to massively reduce the cooldown of the immobilization spell, so you can both cast this a lot more often and deal more damage. The second one is going to be the Man in Stone questline, which we'll find at the Squall hideout in chapter 2. Going to the right side of the waypoint, you're going to notice a canyon, so if you go through it, this will eventually lead you to this NPC stuck midway through the ground. And if you choose to help him, this will unlock a bunch of stuff. One of them is that Azure Dust form, which is a very tanky transformation, completely immune to all 4 elements, and is really good at stunning enemies with body slam attacks. Plus, you also get to unlock a special shop which sells an epic talisman, epic crafting mats, and also a special item to make another questline a bit faster later down the line. Now, to unstuck him, you're going to need to defeat the Mother of Stones found in a nearby cave, as he points that out to you. So simply follow my steps as I circle back from him all around the left side of the nearby Seeker Shrine, and then just go straight forward through this larger cave. Now once you reach this area with another blue crystal rock GUI, pay attention to this small entryway to your left side, as this is the path that you need to follow for that boss fight. Now there are some other goodies in here you can grab, but going at the end of it, you're going to find that crystal boss. Destroying its blue crystals will cause other rock GUIs to spawn, so be careful about that, but this should be easy work, taking just a couple of minutes. And once that is done, you can grab the stone essence from it and bring it back to the man in stone. Now for the next part, he's actually going to betray you for a split moment once he gets the stone essence from you, so simply attack him once he does that and win the fight. For the next part, you're just going to have to extract the essence from his body once again, which is going to unlock that Azure form transformation, as well as providing the steadfast perk in the transformation skill line. This is going to increase your defensive stat. The final bit is to go and just rest at any shrine and then come back, and once you do that, you're going to notice that now the man in stone also sells a bunch of items. So if you go ahead and buy them, it's pretty good, but you can also get the sobering stone, as we're going to need that for a different quest line in the same chapter. And that quest is going to be for the yellow-robed squire, which is this boar individual you will aid not too far off from the man in stone. This one unlocks a whole secret map called the Kingdom of Sahali, also a third talisman slot for your character, some mythical and legendary items, even an armor set, as well as a couple of boss fights. So to start this quest line, you will need to head over left side of the Rockrest Flat Seeker Shrine, past some of these enemies, way into this larger open field with the NPC in the middle. This is going to be your first time meeting that inebriated boar fella, who will be requesting a sobering stone from you to get back up on his feet. Now you can give him the one that you just bought from the man in stone shop, assuming that you completed that quest line first, or you can find one for absolutely free near the Windrest Bridge. So here is how you can get the free one from the Windrest Bridge, assuming that you need it. So you will need to go past the bridge and the enemies and then take the stairs immediately to your left side. Then go up these stairs and follow up immediately with the stairs to the right. And finally take another left. You will spot that there's one of these golden glowing containers tucked away inside one of these shacks and also protected by an enemy. So simply take it down and it's yours. In either of these situations, you just need to head over back to the squire, give the item, and this part is pretty much complete. From here, he's going to move on to the Temple of the Crouching Tiger, so simply head over there to this right side terrace just before the boss fight. This time, he only needs a Jade Lotus to eat, which you should have plenty of as they are super abundant, especially around bodies of water. And from here, he moves one final time back to the same area you first met him, in front of the big gate in the first area you met him. In the meantime, after you've done that, head over there. This is going to start a short combat sequence, and if you defeat him, this is going to be the way you get to lead into the Kingdom of Sahali. Plus, you also get the Snout Mask from him, which boosts up your attack whenever you use your Guard, but can also reduce your attack if you use it too much, so be careful about that. Now, I don't want to spoil much of what happens here, as it's really worth discovering this place on your own, but there are a couple of boss fights. The first one is going to unlock that third talisman slot that I mentioned before, as well as a Tiger Tally. So this is an item that gives extra attack buff on successful light attack combos, which is really great because you do that pretty much all the time. Now, if you also beat the second encounter in the area, this also gives you the very powerful legendary Wind Tamer Vessel. This one, I would say, is super OP. Basically, it has a super short cooldown. It can also stun bosses, so it's very good at interrupting their phases and power-ups. Gives you a really good damage reduction, and even provides immunity to strong winds, which helps a ton with the boss in the chapter. You also get the Mythical Sky-Piercing Horn, which lets you craft a very strong weapon. However, in my first playthrough, I never stumbled upon it, so at the very least at the time of this video, I never got the recipe for it, but it's one of the only mythical upgrades that I got in the full game. Now, this brings us to the third quest line. You can actually unlock something called the Chubai Spear, and I absolutely love this weapon. It's extremely powerful. It comes with a completely unique moveset specific just to it. So this integrates spear attacks into your light combo attacks, which are actually kind of like the series of pokes, jumps, and yeah, they are very fast and very good at stacking a lot of damage. You also gain bonus damage when you are in the thrust stance when attacking with it, which is why this is best made with a build that uses the thrust stance as well. So this completely demolishes single target enemies. This is especially good versus bosses. It literally carried me all the way through the entire game. It can be very powerful and maybe even a bit too powerful for its own good. Also, you can definitely have offense and defense mechanics with it, coupling very well with the way this works, because you're constantly doing this dance of going in and out of combat, dodging, going back in with attacks, and then disengaging. Absolutely loving this, and it's super strong. So for this, you will need to reach chapter 3 and specifically the lower pagoda. And your first visit here, you're going to see a number of these sealed prison cells with a purple mark on them. So the very first cell that you see sealed this way actually holds the NPC that we need to start this quest line and get the weapon from. So to break these seals, you just need to progress up the level until you reach the upper pagoda Seeker Shrine. Once you're here, pay attention to the area you just came from, as there is a small entryway to the left side of this, which is going to bring you to a secret boss room below. Without spoiling the fight, just defeat the boss to break down the purple seals for the entire dungeon. So this is also going to let you unlock a lot of other rooms filled with treasures, enemies, also transformations, so totally worth it to just discover everything. However, once you're done, head over back to the start of the lower pagoda, free the third prince, and start the quest by talking to him. From this point on, he'll tell you about the force at the top of the many wheel, responsible for the Shadow Realm mechanic that you see triggering every few minutes. So progress up through this level and this stage up until you reach that boss, defeat that boss, and once you're done, you can then head over back and talk to the NPC one final time. And this time you will see that the prince is in a much better mood, so much so that he's also going to give you this item to craft the Chubai Spear. All the other mats by now should also be easily accessible, so craft it, enjoy it. It's one of my favorite weapons in Black Myth Wukong. But let's keep on going to number 4. We have the quest line for Chen Loong, also in chapter 3, just a bit further from the prince quest line. So this doesn't just unlock a player hub that literally features all the NPCs and vendors in one place, but it also gives a secret boss fight, which also further unlocks a very strong legendary armor set, one of the best in the game actually, a new transformation, as well as armor upgrades. So this is something that you can unlock on your first half of chapter 3 by reaching the north shore of the Bitter Lake. From the shrine, head over beneath the giant turtle's head, where you will see Chen Loong for the first time in this body of water. Now at first he's going to become hostile immediately, and I'm not going to lie, this is going to be a rather difficult fight at first, but again, that Azure form, assuming that you unlocked it from earlier, is going to make the fight a lot easier. Once defeated, he's going to want to speak with you, so go ahead, talk to the NPC, and he's going to tell you about the special item that he needs from True Dog. So we already talked about this NPC when unlocking Celestial Medicine crafting in the perfect start guide we just covered, but for everybody who is new here or didn't see it, you first meet True Dog right here at the start of chapter 2 from the village entrance waypoint. From this point on, simply head over right through this road down into the smaller grotto where you will find Shoe Dog for the first time. Now he will request some help with the electric frog boss in the water below, so simply go ahead over there, defeat the boss, and then get back to him. Once you're done, he's going to thank you and then proceed to his second location. And that location is going to be at the cellar beneath the Temple of the Crouching Tiger. So for this, you will need to have defeated the Crouching Tiger boss in the area. Also activate the statue that was behind him, which is going to open up a secret tiger passage in the middle of the boss arena. And if you follow this, at the end of it, you're going to eventually reach that cellar. And once you are here, simply proceed to the cauldron in the back, and you're going to notice that Shoe Dog spawns once again, thanking you, unlocking that medicine crafting, and also having the dialogue options active. So if you have already done all of this, you just need to interact with him and then choose the option to talk to him. He's going to have some new dialogue about Chen Loong, and at the end of it, he's going to provide you with a special made bone strengthening pellet, which you can then bring back at Chen Loong. So simply head over again at the north shore of the Bitter Lake, where you will find him nearby to this house. Once given the pellets, he's going to give you a Rui scroll, which is how you basically get to unlock and teleport to this new player village hub area. And I absolutely love that they added such a secret player hub in this game. It literally gets all the NPCs that you met along the way up until now to have teleported here and have easy access to them. And it's not just that, they also feature new mechanics. So for example, Shoe Dog actually gives you medicine every now and then, pretty much as a reward. And if you speak to Chen Loong, he's going to be able to grow plants for you from the seeds that you collect along the way, so you don't need to gather them from the environment. But I suggest heading into the back and talk to Yin Tiger. He is going to pretty much be the blacksmith NPC. he also gets a new mechanic, which is to upgrade armor, not just to craft items. This can be extremely useful as it improves rarity as well as defenses, plus the first couple of levels are really inexpensive at that stage. However, you can also choose to challenge him, which is exactly how you get that new transformation and legendary armor set. Now, this will be a very tough boss fight, I'm not going to lie. It is tough, but it is super fun too. So if you manage to best him in combat, first thing he's going to do is to give his weapon the Ebon flow. This also unlocks a completely new transformation that has the same moveset and look as the Tiger. You basically transform into him. So as you hit enemies with light attacks, you also get to charge up the fire on the sword. Once that gauge is fully maxed out, you can then perform the same devastating long-range heavy attack that he also used in the fight against you. The form moves rather slowly, but it is worth it. It's decently tanky and the damage on it is really good without even investing many points in it. Now, beyond this, you also get the Iron Tough armor, which really buffs the rock solid skills. Plus, it's a legendary quality, so it's one of the first you can actually get, or maybe the second. So the two set bonuses power up the Nick of Time mechanic even more on the rock solid, giving you even more focus when deflecting with rock solid. So you can actually just use summons a lot more often. And then the 4 set bonus gives a considerable cooldown reduction, letting you spam the ability even more often. Plus, the gauntlets also provide a damage bonus on the first hit following that deflect, which already gets boosted if you have unlocked the upper hand perk, so you kind of get both the benefits at the same time. And yeah, that is pretty much it with the video. Let me know down below if there's any other secret quest lines that you discovered in the first couple of chapters. And if you did, I would totally love to know if you got any rewards from them or at what stage you are. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.